Hi everybody, it's Ginny here again, and as promised I'm going to do a video showing you how to make apple butter. My mom has used this recipe for many years and it's pretty simple, as you can see. We have apple cider, we have sugar, cinnamon, cloves, and then I have two different kinds of apples. I am using Jonathan's and Cortland's. So I'll get started with the process here and show you how simple this is, and you can enjoy it through the winter. So here we go. Okay, I just wanted to show you that part of the process here. I'm quartering my apples right now, and I just have water in my big bowl, and I actually did put a little bit of fruit fresh in my water, and that just keeps your apples from turning brown. So I just sprinkled it on top of my water and then just mixed my water with my hand. So as you're cutting them, if you get interrupted, then your apples don't turn brown. But the whole idea when you cut your apples up is, I don't know the term, but the little fuzzy bottom here, that's really what you want to get out along with the center. I do have a strainer that will take the the peel and anything rough out of my apple butter, but you don't want that in there. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. You're just going to have little brown fuzzies floating around in your apple butter. Let's just say it wouldn't be as pretty. So basically this is what you do. I mean, you just cut out the center and let it fall into the water. And I do this to all 18 apples. So as soon as we get done doing this, I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so I have all of my apples ready to go, and I have my bag for the compost pile, which is, the little fuzzy ends and the cores of the apples. And then over here I have put my 2 quarts of apple cider in my large stainless steel pot, and I'm going to bring that to a boil. And as soon as that comes to a boil, then I'm going to add my apples to it, and we'll start the cooking process. Now, according to the directions here, we are going to just cook the apples until they're tender. And once they're tender, we're going to drain them, and then I'm going to run them through my my strainer, which I attach to my KitchenAid, which I love my KitchenAid. So I'll let you know as the process begins here. The apple butter goes way back for me and my family. When I was a little girl, we lived on a mountain in Bluefield, West Virginia, and there was an apple orchard there. The ladies would all get together every fall, and they would set up tables, and they had their little apple peelers, and they would peel apples, and they actually made apple butter in a large copper kettle outside. And as a child, that's where my love for it started. So my mom, I don't know where my mom came up with this recipe, but it's the best one I've ever found for my taste. I know some of it that you buy in the store kind of has a vinegar taste to it, and I don't like that at all. So this is our family recipe, and as it progresses here, I'll keep you posted. Till the next step. Okay, quick look at the apples here. As you can see, they're boiling in the pot, and they're very tender. And it's been about 10 minutes since I brought my apple cider to a boil, and then I added my apples, and I returned it to a boil. So in a very short amount of time, as you can see, my apples are very tender and making my house smell wonderful. So you stir it, quite a few times during this process. It doesn't take very long. And, I think it depends on the variety of apple, how quick it becomes tender when you're in this stage of making apple butter. Because my Jonathan's were very ripe and my Cortland's were soft. So I think that's why it didn't take very long at all. You're talking a total of, like I said, it's been cooking for it's just been 10 minutes since my apple cider came to a boil and I added my apples. So I'm going to let it cook here for just a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to take it off the stove. I have reduced my heat. I had it on high, obviously, to bring my apple cider to a boil. And then once it started boiling, I reduced it probably about half. I use an electric stove, so I went from high to right now I'm at 3.5. So depending on how your stove is and if you use electric or gas, just depends on how you keep your heat at this point. But you just want it at a soft boil right now and stir it. And I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to strain my apples, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, now I have set up my strainer on my KitchenAid, and I'm putting my cooked apples that have been strained in the sink through my strainer, and it's making some beautiful pink. Looks like applesauce, but of course it's going to be apple butter. And I will continue this process until I get it all in the pan. So I will be back shortly to show you the finished product. So here is our finished product after being pureed, which is about 18 apples is what I used. So now we're going to turn this up on high, and we're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to reduce the heat. We're going to cook it for about 45 minutes, or as Mom's instructions say, until a spoon, what does it say? Until it holds up a spoon. Then we'll know that it's ready to do a few more steps. So be careful with this process, because when it comes to a boil, if it pops out of your pan, it can kind of like become cement on your stove. So as you can hear that it's starting to do that now. So I will turn my heat way down, because actually it can kind of hurt if it gets on your skin. So be careful with this, and start cooking our apples down. Okay, my apples have been cooking for about 25 minutes, and about medium-low. Kept it down so that it wouldn't pop, like I told you. And the deep pan really helps with that too. But I wanted to show you one way that Mom says that you can tell it's done is if a spoon stands up in it. So a spoon will definitely stand up in mine right now. That's pretty cool. So next we're going to cook it a little longer, add our spices and sugar for probably about 45 minutes. It'll actually get a sheen to it, and then we'll can it. Okay, now you can see the beautiful change in color. And I added 3 cups of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, and ½ teaspoon of cloves to this. And it turns that beautiful, rich color. Now, this part I want to warn you about. I talked about it popping before, but once you add that sugar, it really does do that a lot. So I have reduced my heat to like 1.6 on my stove, and I actually put a splatter screen on top, because this stuff it can hurt if it pops out of there and gets on your skin. And if it gets on your stove, it gets kind of cement-like. So for this part of the cooking process, just be careful, and you have to stir it often. So, remove this. You might even want to take it off the burner, stir it, stick it back on there, because this part can be kind of painful. The other thing I wanted to tell you about briefly was the kind of sugar that I use. We found a pure cane sugar, and we are no GMO people. So a lot of the regular sugar is made from sugar beets. So I bought the pure cane sugar for baking, and then our everyday I use the organic, the USDA organic, which works fine in this recipe also. So whichever one of those you want to use, what your preference is fine. I just wanted to let you know about that. Okay, after about 25 minutes, my apple butter is done. So you can see it's that rich, beautiful brown color. My house smells great. It tastes fantastic. So I have washed my jars. I'm going to put it in pint jars. And these are kind of cute ones, you know, they have a little bit of a design on them. So if you want to give them as a gift for Christmas presents, you can, or you can just enjoy it yourself. I have my lids, my seals. I'm going to bring them to a boil, get them good and hot. Have my canner here. So I'm going to fill up my jars, wipe off the rings real good, put my seals and my lids on, and I'm going to bring them to a boil in my canner, process them 10 minutes, turn it off, and they should seal up and be good to go. So I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I hope you make some awesome, yummy apple butter, and let me know how it turns out, okay? So you can see more of our videos, Ginny, Ohio on YouTube, or you can visit www.informationcovered.com and leave us any comments that you would like. If there's anything else you would like us to do, let us know, and we'll see what we can do. Meanwhile, enjoy your apple butter, because I know I'm going to. You guys have a good day. God bless.